Here's the deal. Every time I go on StreamYard, guys, you are going to see this, I guess. And it's weird. It's now anytime and every time that I get on StreamYard. It's not if I'm on Facebook. So I am thinking of jumping on Facebook and, of course, seeing if I can fix it because I don't need to be on StreamYard. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those things that I'm learning when I'm on StreamYard. It doesn't matter what I do. I am going to be seeing into a different dimension. And so here we are looking into someone's living room again. There's their grand piano. Still looks pretty similar. Not much has moved. But anyway, hi, Katie. Hi, Jessica. I wanted to join you guys tonight really quickly. Again, this is not a filter. I'll do my very best, and I'm sorry it's distracting. Take a deep breath. We are here, and I wanted to, again, if it's too distracting, let me know. I will reconnect on Facebook. So really just let me know if it's causing like seizures or something. And then I'll get a hold of StreamYard and maybe I'll get like a year free or something. Who knows? I don't know. What a horrible, horrible week it's been already. It's been kind of crazy. It's been full of all sorts of energy. It's been sorts of prayers, people passing away, crisis calls, working de-escalation hotline. It's been really crazy. And as a psychic, of course, there was some prediction in this. Anybody in my Gypsy tribe knows that we don't want to say we predicted because that's not the case. You really can't predict such things, but you do look at the energy and you go, Now today, there's a lot going on in the ether. There's a lot going on in the ether. Some of the things going on in the ether, we have Mercury square Uranus. What the heck does that mean? And do you even care? Well, I want to give you guys a rundown so that you can hear this and think to yourself in your own spectrum, wherever you're at. Apply it to your personal situation, the micro, and then apply it to the collective consciousness, the macro. Mercury, square, Uranus. Mercury is in Aquarius. Uranus, I believe, is in Taurus. Something said will trigger your nerves in a weird way today. So consider what unique tools you possess to overcome any debacles, obstacles, and turbulence. Avoid buying any electronics as we approach Mercury in retrograde. Now, Venus is also squared Chiron. Chiron, a lot of astrologers, astrological people are not really going to be utilizing this. Some people do, some people don't. I kind of look at it as an Achilles heel, the best of the worst, little big man, if you will. And Venus is your sensuality. So this is messages of our love and sensual connections to others, giving us some enhancement, giving us a little bit of a window of opportunity to see things through the eyes of our loved ones, to empathize. That's a good thing. But then you compound it with today specifically, and for those people in my Gypsy tribe, and it's not too late, by the way, you can ever go to the Patreon any point in time, /the Gypsy tribe, and join to see rituals, to join in the private Facebook club where we chat and share sigils and intuitive assignments and things. This month, working on self-love, working on specific boundaries, protection, and shielding. Now, a lot of this is like 101, witchery 101 or occult spirituality 101. But I want to mention to you with this new moon in Capricorn, why and what we are doing specifically, and kind of describe for you just a little bit the alchemy that I'm working this week. So, not this one, not this one, not that one. Well, shoot. Okay, so we're just going to have to delete this. Oh, you can't see it anyway. This is my, we're talking about sound waves and physics and how to utilize that in the paranormal, what that means, and velocity and potential and kinetic. But I want to share with you something in alchemy, right? That living room again. I know, guys, I'm a time dimensional remote viewer. I don't know. But earth, your thoughts. Water, your feelings. Air, what we say. Fire, what we do. Now, I kind of describe it or show it like this. Earth, water, air, fire, right? We see the Jacob's ladder, we see the DNA strand, we see the connection, we see the movement, we see the momentum. And this does also go down from the alpha omega. It goes down into positive, negative, and then from here it goes into the zodiac. And I'll show you a little bit of where we are at in the zodiac right now. The new moon in Capricorn. This is going to be the moon here, but then you're getting a lot of energy here. So when we're looking at it in an actual equation, like if you're a math or an objective person wanting to look at it, you are seeing it this way. So at the top, you have the alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. Then you have positive and negative polarities. Then you have earth, water, air, and fire modalities. Then you have the zodiac. It breaks down. We have air. The middle or the fixed sign is Aquarius. That's where a lot of planets are right now. It's very, very heavy there in Aquarius, that specific energy. In the moon, which I've circled over here on Earth, over on that side under the E. It's currently in Capricorn. It's a forward cardinal. So if you are also a musician, maybe you are seeing some of these like guitar strings. You can see them as half steps or whole steps. There's a harmony to be played here. And we can see what we have to do to work this magic to understand that earth, air, space. Now, in that, Earth, how are you working Capricorn? It's long term. It's very, very strong, and it's your intentions. It's knowing who you are. Don't want to get stuck here. You could overanalyze. You could really do some damage in that Christian demonic space of going in the yin, the feminine energy for sure. There's a lot of Lilith energy in the astrology this week, which means that there's going to be a lot of depression, lack of motivation, extra exhaustion, self-destruction, even self-masochism. Be very careful with that. We don't want to be deviant to a fault. We don't want to be deviant to the point that we martyr ourselves. We need to be very careful of that. But it's that Aquarius. Aquarius is wanting to be the water bearer. They are breaking the vessel. They're carrying the empathy, carrying the relationships. But what the magic in this is, or kind of how the witchery wants to use this, or how we want to use this equation, is to understand that air. Now, let's say you are Christian. So say you are doing different rituals. You understand Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is someone who is asking us, how do you know what you know? Air magic asks you, how do you know what you know? I did not mention Leo. Leo's a fire sign. Leo would be right across from Aquarius. I don't believe anything currently is in Leo right now. I would have to double check as far as like in the Yang space, but I could easily be wrong. I'm just kind of talking right now about two things that are happening. You're having either overanalyzing thoughts in the who am I, what is my purpose, which is very, very important. Knowing not to overthink that, knowing that this is going to be a validation of something you already know. This is not a time to completely rebirth and be something completely new. The caterpillar is in essence the same as it is in a butterfly form. They all look the same. You know what they are. Don't try and say that you're a giraffe now. Keep true to who you are, but move in that sense. But air magic, how do you know what you know? You're going to hear a lot of, are you sure? Hi, Annette. Hi, Amber. Hi, Steve. Hi, Tina. You're going to hear a lot of, is this real? How do you know that? Where'd you hear that from? Well, that's not what I heard. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see it in the macro sense with the censorship and some of the platform shifting and some of the changes and the authority figures. This is absolutely happening in astrology. And when we say age of Aquarius, that Aquarius is in a yang space. So it's in the air space, reputation, gossip, talking, drama, flighty, social, dramatic spaces with people, sociological spaces. And this is that you have taken, in a sense, something that you're going to do. You're going to do a Patreon. You're going to launch a brand. You're going to do a t-shirt. You're going to do a new thing. You're going to build that new website. You're going to retire, divorce, start the new job, get the promotion, sell the car, do the thing. And this, Robin says, I have been singing the entire soundtrack from Hair because of the age of Aquarius. Singing, noticing people singing, noticing yourself singing, invocation. Amazing. Just singing. For me in particular, it is usually, especially in Aquarius space, like Ray Charles. I really love like jazz. I love Hugh Laurie. I love uh, Tash Sultana. I forget how to say it. I always get dyslexic with her name, Tosh, the Australian, beautiful, beautiful Australian musician. But anyway, Aquarius, age of Aquarius, it's air. It's, are you sure you know what you know? Are you sure you know what you know? Are you sure? How do you know that? And so when you start, gosh, this is so difficult to do in my time traveling dimensional space, but when you start with an intention, I'm going to be a rocket scientist. Oh, how do I feel about it? What do my loved ones think? Oh, they don't know. Oh, okay, now I'll go back. Oh, but I can do it. Oh, I learn the things. Oh, they're going to support me. Okay. You think, you feel, you think, you feel, you think, you feel. When you get brave enough, you decide to let it out. I'm going to be an astronaut. And hopefully that environment space is so sacred and special and protected and contained, and you know what the hell you're doing, that you don't have to deal with, gotta tell, that's stupid, right? Constructive criticism. Oh, that's a great idea, but have you thought of doing this? Oh, let me call my brother. He's really great at that. You want that social Aquarius supportive social space to be supportive. And guess what, guys? Right now, there's a lot of Mars. There's a lot of issues going on with shifting, rules shifting, authority shifting, the way we know things shifting. So when people are here and they get a troll that says, how do you know that? Oh, shoot. How do I know that? It takes you back. It takes you back. How do you know that? Your thoughts. Well, if these people don't know what you know and they don't feel what you feel, there's no way you can empathize with them. You can't be in the same space. It's actually one of our cool uniting qualities is our defining differences, that we have similar experiences in different ways. So you have one of two types of energies and things happening in the Sage of Aquarius. You have this definite doppelganger, getting repetition, getting things in your peripheral, seeing shadow figures, questioning, are you awake? Are you asleep? What's going on? The matrix, the red pill, the blue pill, that echo chamber, echo chamber, echo chamber, echo chamber. Age of Aquarius. Are you sure you know what you know, what you know, what you know, what you know? And so you have to be able to go, abso-fucking-lutely, I do. I do know. And I know who I know, and it's okay. You don't have to have walked in my shoes. You don't have to know who I know. And in fact, I appreciate that you don't. But you're talking to me and you're asking me. So if you're not going to believe the words coming out of my mouth, why have you wasted your breath? The culling, the I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's a bunch of loaded cannons full of hypocrisy pointed at mirrors at each other. It is not going to work. It is designed for you to temper yourself. not to change others. It is designed for you to stay true to your integrity, to your authenticity, so that you can full speed ahead into fire and do what you set out to do, what your purpose is, what you announced. I'm going to be an astronaut. That it doesn't matter who says what, that you know what you know in your heart of hearts and your mind of mind, that you can take open constructive criticism, that you're not going to take it personally. Because again, this is not a space that people are going to be able to empathize with each other. Astrologically speaking, it won't work. So we can't expect to empathize with others or for them to empathize with us. It's very difficult. It's very lonely. It's very isolating. It's very, at times, calloused. It's very strange. But we can learn to temper ourselves. Now that can feel selfish in a moment when we go, what? I can't do anything to help anybody. I can't help guide anybody. Nope. No, you can't. Not right now. Not right now. And that's okay. All we can do as the oxygen mask falls from the ceiling is to put it on and take care of ourselves so that we can then take care of our loved ones. It is a sort of hierarchy. As the authorities at bay are shifting, we are also shifting. And we have to remember to prioritize ourselves, and then our loved ones, and then our loved ones, and then our loved ones. And that you know who those people are, and that you trust those people, and that you know that unconditional love means exactly that. It's unconditional. So, if we are struggling, it's a reflection of something we see in ourselves. And that is a lot of shadow work. That is a lot of, how do you know what you know? Who are you? I think of Zoolander and who are you? I don't know. It can be a very scary space. So it's just kind of one of those issues. And I think it's just important for people to understand how to use that energy so that you are staying focused on authenticity and integrity, and that anyone around you, it's like momentum works, right? The laws of attraction, physics, science, actually. And so that anybody that you love, that you're keeping in your village, they see you leading by example. They see you staying strong. In many ways, with Mercury right now making some shifts, it's probably best to not say a whole lot, only speaking your truth, being very, very aware that anything you say can and will be used against you. And that's good. And that should be okay. And that you should be strong in that space and have courage in that space, right? So it's kind of a powerful and interesting space astrologically. And we've known this for a while, to be able to look at it and see, ooh, this is how the dominoes are falling. It's been able to help a lot of people find some shreds of certainty and some strength and a foundation that otherwise looks like kind of a scary, stressful space. So as a counselor, as someone working in crisis, as someone, working with those people that are calling, that are suicidal, that are very depressed, that are veterans, that are having PTSD, that are having a lot of issues and that grief, this is and can be a stressful time for everybody, but it's meant to be that temperance. So how do you use it? If you are someone who hasn't had the chance to go to church, or you're not an avid church goer, you're just maybe a spiritual person, but you're open, you're not quite sure how to apply it or where to go or what to learn. I'll give you an example. One of the books that I really love reading this time of year, a few different ones. I'm going to be reading this one a little later this week. I'm going to be sharing a lot of it on my Gypsy Tribe, again on my Patreon. But this one, which is called, again, you're going to see into someone's random living room because I'm an interdimensional time traveler. Thank you, StreamYard. But this is called The Singer by Calvin Miller, and it's a narrative that is really, really beautiful. It's kind of a retelling of the Christian Jesus human history story. It's very, very beautiful, and it's short. It's an easy read. It's you can't really see the pages because you're seeing a coffee table instead, but I can assure you this magic book is actually quite an easy and smooth read. So if you guys want to join me with that later, you can. And then this one, if you are more of a pagan, Wiccan, Thelemic kind of that space, then maybe you are or have been familiarized with the return of the light. And it's 12 tales from around the world for the winter solstice space. And it tells everything from indigenous to Loki to all sorts of world culture stories for the return of the sun for the northern hemisphere. So it's really, really beautiful, very inspirational, very, very powerful. And that's what is kind of meant to be, is like to keep focused, right? Just stare at the light, just keep swimming, whether it's Frozen 2 or if you're a parent stuck in quarantine, watching Finding Nemo or something. All of those beautiful tales are serendipitous and I think woven into what we need to do right now astrologically. So if you're feeling the kickback, who am I? Who am I? Earth. Know how to do some of that earth magic. It's going to be self-care. It's going to be grounding. It's going to be centering. It's going to be the root chakra. It's going to be red. It's going to be iron. It's going to be iron deficiency. It's going to be exercise and diet for the color red and the meridians in that body, in that body space. If you are finding yourself more in an air space, feeling a little bit more combative, wanting to stay focused, wanting to be tempered, going out, doing it, feeling the questioning, but staying forward, then you're going to want to kind of work in that airspace. You're going to feel the tightness of your throat. You're going to maybe even be worried. Maybe you've got COVID. You're going to be feeling that respiratory tightness. You're going to be feeling the cold symptoms this time of year. But this is a different kind of feeling. This is a tightness, a clenching, wanting to be around blue stones, lapis lazuli, wanting to open up communication, wanting to talk, wanting to write, wanting to learn a new language, wanting to sing, wanting to do more of that. And it's absolutely right on with the frequencies right now. And we're kind of seeing that split and the alchemy way. So if you guys are wondering how you work your own magic, or you're wondering how that magic works, be sure to check out www.paranormalsarah.com. It's very clear in this time and space who is lingering about, sharing positive, trying to be in that focused space, and then who is just not, who's really struggling. And the goal is to just help who you can, and at the very least be sure that you're prioritizing the love of yourself and your loved ones, and doing everything you can to stay focused on that positive growth. Don't let it kick you back. Don't let it kick you back too far. Don't let it keep getting you stuck back in the past. That's kind of the design, is to make you question and to cut this in a way that is going to be uniquely segregating. So I'm excited to see how the energies are working and how people around me are working their energies. If you guys have any questions, or you have any specific ways that you would recommend, I know a lot of people are doing fun grounding with their stones, getting their stones out, redesigning their space, cleaning. There's been a lot of people reaching out to divination, to prayer, picking up that New Year's resolution, exercising, health, purging, detoxing, upping your vitamin D, upping your vitamin C, making sure that you've got that really good, healthy immune system, putting lemon in your water in the morning, making sure that you're getting that sunlight. Breathing, the blue throat chakra, Mercury communication space for just breath work, diaphragm work, all of that can't hurt, right? So any of that, I absolutely think is a great idea. It's always a good idea to do anything for the mind-body connection. And that's all the stuff that you're going to probably find on Paranormal Sarah and also on the Patreon. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to hop on later this evening. I'll be doing a new moon ritual. It's in Capricorn. So don't forget, that is going to be Earth. That's going to be self-care. It's going to be investment. It's going to be time, space-time, past, not overthinking. I'm interested what deity you might be using. I'm interested what spirituality you are practicing. I've got all sorts of people that I work with that are going to be channeling everyone from Nordic goddesses to scientific planets, to all sorts of wild, weird, cool, crazy, very interesting things. So share with me in the comments or in the messages what you're going to be doing tonight. And if you'd like, don't forget, you can always check out how to join me on paranormalsarah.com. In the ritual, learn how to join and use some of that new moon energy for yourself to put forth some good intentions. So Rose says, not overthinking, huh? It's really hard, isn't it? It's really, really hard not to overthink. For me as a Virgo, right? I automatically default to that earth space. So I kind of also doing necromancy magic and grief work and forensic psychology. I kind of default to that, more the darker side of things. And it takes an extra effort to be optimistic. It takes extra effort to speak about positive things because, gosh, to overthink things. Stood at my kids' I stood at my door. I stay at my doorstep, I noticed today, as school's back in session, and watching them get off the bus and come back and counting the moments until they're there and making sure that I see them coming off the bus, making sure that they're there, making sure that they're okay, feeling that, just that level or that thickness or that change in the ether that's been around. And I think everybody kind of has their own way of dealing with it. And the overthinking of ourselves and of the space around us, security versus comfort, that kind of pleasure versus pain, the different synonyms that we are twisting. Aquarius does that, right? How do you know that? How do you know what you know? Aquarius, Archangel Raphael, that space, air is very turbulent. Air is swords in the tarot deck. So whenever you see swords and that psychic or divinator goes, ooh, and you think, what the hell? Why are you doing that? That's because it's swords, and swords is an implication of air. Air is, what was that? Ooh, what was that? Air is an omen. Air is a message. Air is, we need to talk. Air is, did you hear? Air is, oh my gosh. Air is automatopoeia. Air is music. Air is invocation. Air is, I do. Air is, if you have anything to say, say now or forever hold your peace. Air is difficult. You can say one thing and do a lot of damage. Air. A lie can do a lot of damage. Air. Prove it when you can't. Air. Air, reputation, gossip, social, humiliation, drama, flighty, entertainment, social media, the way in which information is shared. Air. That's Aquarius. And right now there's a lot of planets moving through that. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Try not to overthink things. Look at the astrology. If you have questions, let me know. Check me out, www.paranormalsarah.com. Anyway, guys, I'll be on here later. I'm going to go make some elevated ramen for dinner and start prepping for the evening's rituals. And I'll be looking at my private messages and sending out all of those readings that I do. And for all of you who joined us last night at the Crystal Show, I'm super excited because we're going to be doing our giveaway and our drawing for that huge, beautiful healing stone. So keep your eyes peeled on your emails and your invoices, and I will talk with you guys soon. Have a good night.